GitHub is not the internet's hard drive. That's the most common wrong idea about it. And it's the reason people avoid learning it, thinking it's just extra steps between them and saving a file. Today, what it actually is, and why almost anything worth building ends up there, here's why this matters even for something as ordinary as a personal project or a family budget. The moment more than one version of a file exists, or more than one person touches it, or you want to actually get credit for having built something, plain file saving stops being enough. GitHub is the tool for exactly that gap. And once you see what problem it actually solves, the rest of this series gets much easier. Start with the problem, not the tool. You've made a document, you make changes, and at some point you have final v2, and final v2 actually final. That is version control failing by hand. Git, the tool underneath GitHub, replaces that with a real history. Every meaningful change saved as its own step with a record of what changed and why, that you can go back to at any point without guessing which file is the real one. GitHub is where that history lives online, not just backed up, but shareable and visible. A project on GitHub has a real permanent address. Anyone you send it to sees the actual current state of the work, the full history of how it got there, and can propose a change without ever touching your only copy. That collaboration piece is the part people underestimate. You don't hand someone your file and hope they don't overwrite something. They work on their own copy, propose their specific change. You look at exactly what's different, and only then does it become part of the real project. That review step is the actual reason serious projects, from huge companies to one-person side projects, standardize on this instead of emailing files back and forth. This series posts a new episode daily, so if the rest of this stack is useful to you, subscribing is genuinely the only way it reliably shows up in your feed instead of getting buried. There's a quieter reason this matters too. A GitHub profile is a real checkable record of what you've actually built, not a resume line someone has to take on faith. For a developer, that's obvious. For anyone building a personal project, a family system, or teaching what they learn, it's the same idea. Proof over claims. So here's what to actually take from this before episode 3. GitHub is not a backup folder. It is a real history of a project, a shared address for it, and a system for other people to safely propose changes without ever touching your original. Episode 3 is the other half of this stack, the editor you actually build inside. And after that, episode 4 puts both to work for real in an actual repository.